The big story in the press room yesterday was, of course, this pause on federal spending. People lost their minds because instead of listening to Caroline and actually reading the FAQ that went out about this pause, they just decided, a lot of Democrat senators and Congress people I saw just decided to lie and fearmonger and tell everybody, you're losing Medicare, you're losing food stamps, you're losing welfare, you're losing everything because of this pause. It was all bullshit. And the memo laid it out very, very clearly. So Caroline tried to calm everyone down. It didn't work because all those people want to lie to their followers. But here is what she said about this whole pause.
The president's agenda, then the Office of Management and Budget will review those policies. I think this is a very responsible measure. Again, the past 4 years, we've seen the Biden administration spend money like drunken sailors. It's a big reason we've had an inflation crisis in this country. And it's incumbent upon this administration to make sure, again, that every penny is being accounted for honestly.
Why impose this pause with so little notice? Why not give organizations more time to plan for the fact that they are about to lose, in some cases, really crucial federal funding, at least for a period of time?
There was notice. It was the executive order that the president signed. There's also a freeze on hiring, as you know, a regulatory freeze, and there's also a freeze on foreign aid. And this is, again, incredibly important to ensure that this administration is taking into consideration how hard the American people are working. And their tax dollars actually matter to this administration. You know, just during this pause, DOGE and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States to be a part of. So that wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
And so this doesn't affect Meals on.
I mean, you guys.
Yeah.
50 million in condoms? Are you serious?
Yeah. I've read though that the condoms they use to fly explosives into Israel.
Right. In fact, that's a headline here. Condoms, kites, birthday balloons. These weapons could lead to real war. So they pack, because somebody did the math, and I think it was Jesse Waters who did the math that like per man in Gaza, it was like 1,000 condoms per man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not insane.
It's not for sex. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what are we? Is it like a lot of goats are about to get pregnant in Gaza? What's happening here? You know what I mean? It's not what this is all about. It's like, but Biden was funding terrorism.
Yeah, essentially.
That's what he was doing. We were funding terrorism, essentially. So Trump was like,
just not willfully.
Right, exactly. We don't do a lot of things willfully. We do a lot of things against our will. A lot. Planned Parenthood, anyone? You know? Yeah. But I mean, Trump was like, we're going to go ahead and not do that.
And she tried so hard to explain in that presser, this does not affect direct dollars or payments that go to people in need. This doesn't affect Social Security, Medicare, it doesn't affect all that. And people were like tweeting out storms, trying to, rile up everyone and fearmonger. There are so many bad ones out there, so many ridiculous things that people will fall for. And we trust the folks at Brickhouse Nutrition, the people that we have had Field of Greens from forever. We've talked about Field of Greens forever. The same people have developed a smart way to lose weight. Now, this is not if you're just looking to lose, a little bit of overdoing it at Christmas weight. It's not for that. It's if you want to lose a moderate amount of weight, but you are afraid, with good reason, of doing the injections, which obviously come with all kinds of side effects. If you're looking for a way to lose weight the smarter way, Lean was created by a doctor and university researcher, and it works similarly to the way that the shots work. In other words, it helps you maintain a healthy blood sugar. It helps control your appetite and your cravings, but it doesn't come with the same kinds of risks and side effects. So if you're interested, make sure to visit takelean.com. And if it's something that you think would be right for you, you can use code CHICKS20, CHICKS20 for 20% off your first order. It's takelean.com. TakeLean.com. Again, it's from our friends at Brickhouse Nutrition, who we trust. TakeLean.com. Chicks20 is the code. And so Twitter was a crazy place yesterday afternoon. People were posting excerpts from the memo that went out saying this does not shut down Medicaid. This does not shut down Social Security. Everyone needs to calm the freak down. Libs of TikTok, of course, also is trying to say, do not believe all the people that are spreading the lie that Trump paused SNAP or Medicaid benefits.
Right.
It was a lie.
Yeah,
and
totally.
then Stephen Miller also tweeted, welcome to the first dumb media hoax of 2025. OMB ordered a review of funding to NGOs, foreign governments, and large discretionary contracts. It explicitly excluded all aid and benefit programs. Left-wing media outright lied, and some people fell for the hoax.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be hysterical. The hysterical are going to be hysterical when they can be hysterical. You know,
right?
They're going to do that.
And they're going to try to fearmonger as much as they
Totally.
possibly can. It's all they have is lies. That is all they have.
Right.
And so then back to Steve Miller with Jake Tapper, they also talked about this pause. And again, Stephen Miller sets Jake Tapper straight.
The choice here is simple. It is very simple, and I want to state it clearly.
Okay.
Either Donald Trump gets political control over this government and ends the waste, abuse, and fraud on the American people, or we let bureaucrats autopilot federal spending. If we hadn't stepped in, then billions more dollars, as an example, would have gone to left-wing NGOs that fund and resettle illegal aliens and are complicit, in many cases, in facilitating child trafficking.
Okay,
So
so
this
obviously,
administration will never, ever apologize for defending the American taxpayer.
obviously nobody's
Ever.
in favor of child trafficking.
He will not. He's just
so
not going to
lost.
Yeah. It's Jake.
And then wouldn't you know it, Letitia James and others decided to immediately sue because this is all they know how to do is use lawfare against President Trump. And so here was her announcement about the lawsuit that she was participating in along with other AGs.
Not only does this administration's new policy put people at risk, but it is plainly unconstitutional. The president does not get to decide which laws to enforce and for whom. When Congress dedicates funding for a program, the president cannot pull that funding on a whim. Later today, I am leading and joining with my colleagues, my fellow Democratic attorney generals, in suing this administration to stop this illegal freeze of essential funds for our state.
And unfortunately, it worked. So there was a judge who temporarily blocked the administration freeze. The block lasts until Monday. I don't know what happens between now and Monday, but the freeze is now lifted for a few days. So I guess we'll see what happens. But it's so stupid.
And it just makes you wonder why they rely so much on federal stuff. You know, like what's wrong with them that they rely so much on federal funding? You know.
And it's a 90-day pause anyway. It's not like this was terminated. They just wanted a chance to make sure, for example, they didn't send $50 million to Gaza for condoms.
Right.
This is reasonable stuff that they're trying to get a hold of.
Right. To fund terrorism, you schmucks.